Hello folks, hope everyone is well. So we speak about the month of November today, and as usual, if you prefer to read about it, I've posted on my website as well. So let's get into this, yeah? Now, before I get into the monthly forecast, I actually wanted to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. As you can see, this channel has reached that 10K milestone. And without your support, it really makes no sense to do this. So a very, very warm thank you to all of you who subscribe and who comment and who like and who share. And also a special thank you to those people who have shown support by responding to negative and at times inappropriate feedback. So that's much appreciated, actually. It makes it that much easier to concentrate on putting good content out there. So thank you for that. It means a lot, even if I haven't said so. Yeah. So what's happening in November? In November, we'll feel a culmination to all this chaotic, disturbing, and it has been disturbing vibrations that are created by the eclipses, the very potent eclipses. And of course, at the moment, we're experiencing the debility of the sun and Ketu in Swati, which is going to bring difficulties with relationships if you haven't already experienced. I think that very likely you would have already experienced some of those difficulties. But this energy you will feel a culmination. We're sort of reaching that climax, and then it will just start to go downhill. Of course, the general background with this, the backdrop with the disturbance to relationships and difficulties there will continue for a few months. Certainly if you are going through the nodal dasha, you'll feel it more with Ketu being in Swati and Rahu being in Parani, but I think it will lessen to some extent after February, when Rahu moves into Ashwini. Yeah. So we start the month with all the planets gripped by the nodes, except for that retrograde Mars. So retrograde Mars actually goes into retrograde at the end of the month, October 29th. If you recall, this year started in a similar pattern, with Mars breaking away from the Gal Surp Yoga. Right? So this month will in fact center around Mars, because Mars is indirectly or directly impacting most planets at the moment. Yeah. So see what Mars rules in your chart. Those themes will be very prominent the entire month of November. Yeah. So this month, of course, we start with the lunar eclipse in Aries. Then we see Mars returning to Taurus. And then we see Jupiter going direct. November will start with some heaviness, but it's going to end on a lighter note. At the start of the month, there's 4 planets in Swati, connecting to Rahu and Parani, which of course suggests endings. It suggests transformation, especially in relationships. And then the planets will all move into Vishaka, connecting with that Jupiter in Pisces. So what is that? That's the theme of letting go, right? Pisces getting activated. So that letting go theme is also strong this month. The first big event, of course, is the lunar eclipse in Bharani. The eclipse takes place on November 8th in Aries at approximately 10 a.m. UTC in the nakshatra of Bharani at 21 degrees. Rahu will cause this eclipse and will be close to the eclipse degree. Yeah, it will be just 3 degrees away in 18 degrees of Bharani. Some matters can come to light now that were triggered on that October 25th eclipse. So there could be some truths being revealed. It could be impacting relationships. It could also be impacting agreements of all kinds. It could be official agreements. It could be contracts. It could be unofficial agreements. Unofficial words, unofficial rules that we don't speak about, perhaps again in relationships in some form or the other. With Saturn being very strong in Capricorn, aspecting this eclipse, this is doubly true. So if you've been keeping secrets, or you've been outright misleading others, and of course, perhaps there have been people that have just simply been lying, now's the time that you'll have to deal with the consequences. Not only can lies come back to haunt you now, but also watch what you say, because Mars being in Mercury's sign and Mercury in a compromised position, you actually may be very impatient and aggressive with your speech, or even worse, employ very deceptive means in your speech to get your way. Yeah. This can show up with respect to contracts that you're signing, agreements that you're signing at this time. So get some expert advice. I've actually already been experiencing this in my life with people lying and, and then the truth coming out later. And some of it's just out of lack of character, but some of it's just outright rubbish, outright lying. So you can encounter that quite a bit at this time, because Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, and Mars is in Gemini at this time, and it's also retrograde. So Mars in Gemini, yeah, I mean, like, for example, it could bring scandals to surface. Watch what you say, especially on social media at this time. I've actually made a separate video on the eclipse and what to expect, so have a look there. I'm going to try to link it at the end of this video. So what else is going on? Things do get easier though after mid-month and onward. The eclipse drama will be behind us by then, actually. Venus remains in Libra till November the 11th. On November 11th, Venus moves into Scorpio, again connecting with that retrograde Mars, right? Because Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio. Mars in Mercury. So in relationships, Mars in Gemini. So relationships and money matters, you can be seeing many shades of gray at the moment, so things won't be clear. Venus transits Scorpio from November 11th till December the 5th, so it's not the best place for Venus, but I think it's gonna fare better here than the unstable environment of Libra. There's a Parivartan happening with Mars and Venus in each other's sign, giving a boost to all matters connected to these planets in your chart. Yeah. Because By then Mars would have returned to Taurus. Yeah. So see what's ruled by Mars, see what's ruled by Venus. Here you will see a lot of activity. November 13th, in fact, the momentum will pick up because Mars moves back into Taurus and Mercury moves into Scorpio. It's not the best place for Mercury in Scorpio because the thinking can be turbulent. Speech can also be turbulent, but with Venus there, I think you will be able to manage it. Like you will have sort of a balancing effect. Scorpio can also foster vengeful feelings. Again, depending on what came up in relationship matters. But with the aspect of Mars, this can lead to destructive outcomes. Yeah. This is a good time to let go. Just to let go. And with that, Jupiter in Pisces, we know that that's going to be for our best. So cutting cords once and for all, this is the time to do it. Yeah. Jupiter's aspect on Scorpio can somewhat calm the situation, but again, it from Pisces, Jupiter aspecting Scorpio, again, it kind of, with everything going on, it's still suggesting, yes, this is, it still confirms that, yes, this is the time to let go. And you will benefit from letting go. It could be anything. I mean, it could be connected to a relationship. It could be connected to a big decision that you're making. Could be connected to your home. Could be connected to an agreement that you're signing. If you're in a dispute with someone, it could be connected to that. Whatever it is. So, cutting cords. Important by mid-month. Because Jupiter's aspecting Scorpio, it can give the speech and actions a dharmic quality, which will help you get through things now, right? After these, because we would have experienced that eclipse on November 8th, and this is sort of the aftermath of that. So this is a good way to deal with the aftermath of the chaotic situations that could have emerged in late October, as well as early November. And now would be a good time to think about what it is that you can let go of, and put your intention into that, and see if you can do it peacefully and just move on. Yeah, this is the time for that. And as the month goes on, gradually we see every movement of the planet confirming this. So then the sun will move into Scorpio on November 16th. There will be much more clarity now, and you'll be able to see the path ahead, rather than just being bogged down with the chaos that could have emerged. Sun goes through Scorpio from November 16th till December 16th. This is a big relief for the sun. It's away from the nodal axis. It's away from the gaze of Saturn. And it's no longer debilitated. And now the sun is with two benefics. It's also receiving the aspect of Jupiter, as well as Mars. So actually it can be a very active time, but a good, productive, active time. Things can appear to be much more clearer for you now, in terms of what you want to do with whatever was stuck in the last few weeks, or wherever there was confusion in the last few weeks. So this will be a time to forge ahead with your plans that you may have put on hold. Also a good time to let go of the past and move on with the future. Venus combustion continues for most of the month. During the Venus combustion, Venus signification can deplete or disappear, or you may not be seeing things clearly. again, back to the chaos, back to the confusion. So be watchful of spending more than you can afford when Venus is combust as well. Passions can run high, but this can also result in fights and arguments at this time. Some separations and breaks will also result, and this has been the ongoing theme throughout the year. And this is, as I said, is the climax of that ongoing theme. After mid-month, things will improve and take another direction. So, what else is happening in the month? November 23rd, we have 2 events taking place. We have a new moon in Scorpio in the nakshatra of Anuradha, and we have Jupiter going direct, also on November 23rd. So all matters connected to Jupiter that felt stuck will now move forward. If you have planets in water signs, you can feel more optimistic about life and about moving forward. And also see where Scorpio falls in your chart to see what areas of life will pick up that momentum and where you will see progress and forward movement. Yeah. Of course, Jupiter is still receiving the aspect of Saturn from Capricorn. So growth can be slower than expected, but this aspect is becoming a separating one because now Saturn is going direct and away from Capricorn. Right? In a couple of months, it will be back into Aquarius. So it's a separating aspect, which is a good thing. This new moon in Scorpio is not only tightly aspected by Jupiter, but also receives an aspect from its ruler, Mars. So again, growth and progress with matters that were stuck, especially pertaining to where Scorpio falls in your chart. Because it's a retrograde Mars, you will likely be going back and revising something. The transformation you see now will be beneficial. With the controlling planet of Anuradha, Saturn, in the 3rd from the moon, you will see some progress by taking initiative. The new moon only receives benefic aspects of Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. So whatever comes up, you may be feeling quite good now. Yeah? So see where Scorpio falls in your chart to understand where you will be impacted. The matter that gets resolved, where you will see positive progress, could be connected to what came up in the beginning of the year as Scorpio is getting activated again. So again, this for you to be affected directly, you have to see what dasha sequence you're going through. Overall, the first few days of the month till around November the 12th can feel quite heavy and it could even bring some unexpected developments. But things calm down after Mars returns to Taurus, and the remaining month is good. And you can definitely see positive growth towards the end of the month, after like around the 3rd week and onwards. So, all right, well, that's all for now, folks. Feel free to leave comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All the best, folks. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.